I got it.
Okay, I'm going to start my speech with a quote from Harold Washington, who was the mayor of Chicago from 1983 to 1987. Affirmative action works, but we're going to need to muster all our political resources if we are to keep it in place. Good morning, classmates, judges, and Mr. Redican. My partner Ellie and I are here to refute the resolution. The resolution is resolved that the United States federal government should eliminate affirmative action in college admissions. So some terms I would like to define are affirmative action and eliminate. So according to Merriam-Webster Dictionary.com, affirmative action means an active effort to improve the employment or educational opportunities of members of minority groups and women. And to eliminate means to put an end to or get rid of. And this means that the affirmative side must argue that the U.S. federal government should eliminate the policy which improves the educational opportunities for minority groups and women in college admissions. Our philosophy here at the negative side is a point brought up by former President Bill Clinton. President Clinton said, "Mend it, don't end it." So Adam didn't mention any history, so I'll shed some light on it. So there are three major court cases that I'd like to touch on. And the first one occurred in 1978. It was Bake versus Regents of University of California. This case deemed quotas as illegal and said that race is allowed to be a factor in college admissions, just not the deciding factor. The next important case is from 2003, and it was Gratz versus Bollinger, where a judge ruled that the use of race in admissions at the University of Michigan was unconstitutional because of the policy uses race preference that makes the determining factor. And the last and most recent case was Fisher versus University of Texas, and this case is going to be heard in the Supreme Court a week from today, actually. So as times are changing, affirmative action has to evolve. So we're looking to revamp, not eliminate, affirmative action. So we plan to base the new affirmative action on socioeconomic levels and calling for a stricter judicial review, which will lead to more inherency, and Ellie will go more in depth on this later. So in order for the affirmative side to win, they must prove a need for change and have a practical plan, and they have the burden of proof. So if they don't do both of them, then we win by default. And we must prove the plan impractical, undesirable, and no need for change, which we will do. So we want to revamp affirmative action because the lack of opportunities that minorities and women are presented with. And according to some statistics, in 2006, according to Project.org, the Hispanic population attained the lowest percentage of high school degrees of all minorities, and they only got a 55%. Asians came in 83%, and African Americans had 74%. And Caucasians held the highest high school degrees at 85%. And the average income for a white family averages $54,000. African American families average $33,000. Hispanics average $35,000, and Asians earn $52,000 annually. So this proves that some of the minorities need a little more help for whatever reason, so that's why we should keep affirmative action. And second, colleges, when you see a pie chart on like collegeboard.org, it's like split 50-50 or 52-48 between women and men. So they want to keep it equal, and they don't try to give anybody extra help, but the women, they just want to keep everything equal, because in college, some of the learning experience is done outside of the classroom. So you have to learn how to interact with different types of people. So there's different races, different sexes, and different people in general. So that is one of the important things of college, which is why they have women, men, minorities, and that's why affirmative action is in place, because if we don't learn how to interact with different people, then we can't be complete, and it'll hurt us in the workplace. So in conclusion, Ellie and I believe that affirmative action should be mended, not ended. We believe this because without it, diversity in college would drop greatly, and social interactions in society would suffer. And because the opportunities presented for minorities aren't as prevalent as the ones that majorities have, they need a little extra boost. Thank you, and vote negative.